That leads to the next question about the suspension of disbelief, that idea of, there were moments, especially when I first noticed it, when we saw it from the perspective of looking out the little crack in the tank, and they were going over the bodies, and that's when I really believed I was there. It was very emotional. In fact, I started to feel just
adrenaline.
Tense. Yeah, adrenaline going, exactly. But then I could argue that it was ruined by the fact that a hand came in and moved something around. Well, obviously that happens over and over again. You're not worried about ruining it, but have you found that you don't worry about ruining that effect? It seems like the audience is into it.
We want to go in and out.
And then you do it. So have you thought about that as, the fact you do that, and you obviously haven't tried to stop that. So is that something you found that better communicates your idea?
I think to be in it all the time with such intensity, I don't think it's really possible. I think it's better to relax in between, also for the audience a little bit, and take a little distance. Because if you took a little distance and you go back again, you can go a little bit deeper. So that's, I think, how the performance is. So we go in it, we go a little out it, and then we go back in it, and then it's a little bit more deep. And that's how it gets much more heavy also in how we show the theme. So I think that technique of going in and back again and back again, deeper, that's how we constructed the play. So it's very much chosen at the moments that we get to see hands. But sometimes we want to keep it very realistic, that the audience believe and get into the story. And sometimes when you see a hand or an arm or it's like, oh shit, not now.
But there is that intent right there. I mean, I know there could be missteps, but that makes sense. So especially with tragedies like
the hands is also like storytellers, and I think the audience is aware that we are telling a story, and then it becomes real. They open themselves more, because if you maybe have the idea, okay, now we're going to look at footage of real war with dead bodies and everything, people might close a little bit, but getting us between it, and the hands are also like storytellers, like, let's think like Bob Ross, I don't know if you remember, let's imagine that there's a trench here, and the hands ask you to imagine it. So it's like a question, and everyone came here to imagine, so we say, yes, let's imagine, and then we have this active process. So it's like, let's imagine that there are all dead bodies here. If you just show, dead bodies, and people might go, but if the hand brings them in, the hand invites you, literally, to go in, and people go in, and then they see all these bodies, and then they're in it.
And it makes it more disturbing.
It's also that the hands, Roman hands, they're very careful putting for example, the bodies in the earth, and it's very, in a way, it's lovingly way, gentle, So that also opens up the audience.
That's interesting.
It's the way old storytellers, in fact, work. Like a fire, and they say, well, you're in the story, and then the night is coming, and the owls crow, and everyone's, and then he knocks on the door, and the door opens, and then he says, well, now we're going to listen to, and everyone's out of it again, and then he slowly takes you in again, and then let's now listen. That's what storytellers also do.
And that's what I found interesting, is this is actually a very primitive way of telling a story. Yeah, you would think it's all this technology around, but you're very simplistic in how you're doing it.
Yeah, it's high-tech, low-tech.